कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। Srimad Ramayanam is a treasure trove. In it, Kishkindha Kandam is one of the most significant Kandams that we come across for one simple reason. Hanuman, Anjaneya Anjanaputra, Hanuman, Vayuputra Hanuman, one of the greatest fervent devotees that we see in Sanatana Dharma, is introduced by Valmiki Maharishi in this canto. When Rama and Lakshmana were walking in search of Sita and were approaching the Pampa lake, is when Sugriva dispatches his advisor Hanuman, who goes in the disguise of a Brahmana, to inquire the whereabouts of these two men. After looking at these two men, Hanuman utters these verses. पद्मपत्रेक्षणौ वीरौ जटामण्डलधारिणौ अन्योन्यसदृशौ वीरो देवलोकाधिहागतौ यदृच्छयेव सम्प्राप्तौ चन्द्रसूर्यौ वसुन्धरां विशालवक्षसौ वीरौ मानुषौ देवरूपिणौ आयताश्च सुवृत्ताश्च बाहवः परिगोपमाः सर्वभूषणभूषार्हाः किमर्थं न विभूषिताः. After describing the grandeur of Rama and Lakshmana, Hanuman is said to have recognized even the Paramatma Tattvam inside Rama. This is what the commentator states. Looking at Hanuman speaks so beautifully. Looking at his picture perfect rendition, the voice, the tenor, the tone, the words that he chooses, all this was 100% perfect. Listening to this, Rama, not going through some of the best of his times, his wife is lost, he doesn't know where she is, but for a moment forgets his worries and with all glee describes Hanuman's eloquence to his brother Lakshmana. He says, Na nrigveda vinitasya na yajurveda dharinaha na samaveda vidushaha shakyamevam prabhashitum nunam vyakaranam kritsnam anena bahudha shrutam bahuvyaharatane na kinchit apashabditam avistaramasandikdham avilambitam avyayam urastam kanthagam vakyam vartate madhyamesware samskarakrama sampannam adbhudam avilambitam ucharayati kalyani vacham hridayaharini anaya chitraya vacha tristhana vyanjanasthaya kasya naradhyate chittam buddhyata serarerapi. Rama says, Lakshmana, I will never ever get to see a person as eloquent as Hanuman. You may wonder, how did Rama know that this was Hanuman? Because Hanuman, while he was describing Rama and Lakshmana, towards the end he did say, Sugriva Sachivo Nama Hanuman Nama Vanaraha. I am the advisor, secretary to Sugriva. My name is Hanuman, I am a Vanara. He introduces himself. So Rama was aware, cognizant of the Vanara called Hanuman, and then describes his eloquence. Another question, sir. If Rama has to describe Hanuman's eloquence, he could have done that straight. Hanuman, you have spoken so well. You are one of the best speakers I've ever seen. Your speech did not have any of the flaws which a general speaker may have. This is what Rama should have said. Rather, he chooses to praise Hanuman and his eloquence to Lakshmana. Why? The commentator states, when people of equal position speak alone, will the conversation be meted to each other. For example, I am giving you a modern parlance. The Prime Minister of country A shall talk to and welcome the Prime Minister of country B. The External Affairs Minister of country A will either meet, talk or welcome the External Affairs Minister of or a Foreign Minister of country B. Not that the other thing should not happen. The Foreign Minister cannot welcome the Prime Minister. Though there is no such bar, there is a protocol. So, two ministers speak, two Prime Ministers speak, two Vikatakavis speak, two Purohitas speak. Generally, when there is a function in the house, imagine the daughter is getting married to the son of another couple. Each of the sides they will be engaging a priest, a Purohita, for the marriage. So, to make the arrangements robust, to make them meticulous, what they should be doing is they should let the Purohitas talk. So, this Purohita will say these particular set of rituals will take this much amount of time. I shall do A, B and D. You will have to do C and E. This is the time you have to take. So, two Purohitas should talk. Imagine that the reports, blood report, all the test reports of a certain individual has come. Now, they have been regularly going to a doctor. The doctor has been testing them and then diagnosing and providing them medicines. But the tests were conducted in another hospital. And then those reports have to be examined by that particular doctor in that hospital. The moment that doctor finds something abnormal, he or she will obviously ask the patient, are you visiting a regular doctor? Can I have their contact? Can I talk to them? So, if there is something serious, the two doctors will talk with each other, decide and come up with the treatment or the diagnosis, whatever is required for the goodwill of the patient. Similarly, Rama may talk to Sugriva because Sugriva was earlier a king for a time being. Later also he will become the king. Rama was supposed to become the king. He has come to the forest. Later he will become the king. So, to be king will talk. King and king will talk. Now, Hanuman is not a king. Of course, he is a king of our hearts. That is a different thing. But in reality, he did not rule any kingdom. So does Lakshmana. Now, both of them have always assumed the role of very dutiful servants to Rama. As much as Lakshmana says, Rama, I will come and serve you. Aham sarvam karishyami jagrataha swapataschate. Hanuman too keeps serving Rama. So, both of them are on a same pedestal. So, Rama thought, if I have to praise Hanuman, let me do that through Lakshmana because both of them are in the same position. One. Second thing, Rama thought that the only pleasure I can give Lakshmana, what is the other pleasure? He cannot serve Lakshmana, Lakshmana keeps serving Rama. What other pleasure can he give? To praise another devotee. Because in Bhakti Samrajyam, in that kingdom of devotion, Bhakti, a genuine Bhakta will be extremely elated, excited, I would say impressed, will feel at peace when another devotee is praised. Jealousy is never the virtue of devotion. I will uh, just give a very brief example, though I don't provide examples from my own life because my life is a very pretty simple life, unlike the great acharyas. I can just give you a small example which I think. Generally, a cricketer will be asked, do you see the opposite cricketer of the opposite team or your own fellow cricketers as competition? It is asked of an actor. It is asked of a musician, of a dancer. The question is very valid because it's a very competitive world. You can feel competitive in a healthy way also. But the same question is posed to us. A bunch of people, a handful of people who so-called give traditional lectures like the Ramayana, the Bhagavatam, the Sri Mahabharatam. These are all the traditional lectures given for a set of 7 days, 9 days, 48 days. Unlike the corporate lectures which are very ad hoc, the topics are also a bit different. So when question is posed to us, do you see this person as a competition? Honestly, I have to be extremely honest. I don't see anybody as competition. The reason is, the moment I see somebody speak on the Ramayana, like a traditional topic like the Ramayana or Bhagavata, it gives me immense pleasure. Because for such a huge domestic Hindu Astika population, to a very, very equal, very enthusiastic Astika Hindu population, that is the diaspora. They may have shifted to other countries, they may have become citizens of other countries, they may be holding probably OCI cards or NRIs, whatever you call them. Their interest in Sanatana Dharma is also to be respected and regarded. So, with such a huge domestic Hindu population, with a Hindu population that is spread largely in Southeast Asian countries like, I would say, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, Japan, and of course the other continents like Australia, North America, Europe, Africa. I would say that the population is so huge. Now when somebody says, Dushyanth, there is somebody who's speaking on the Ramayana, honestly, I feel very, very happy because for this population, you need more number of speakers. So, in devotion, one thing that I have learned from my acharyas is there should be no jealousy, asuya. We should all be anasuyas, no jealousy at all. So, Rama wanted to introduce Lakshmana to another fellow devotee. Rama has been assuming that Lakshmana has been very dutiful, sincere, which he was. But he wanted Lakshmana to meet up with another devotee, a fellow devotee. That is why he praises Hanuman so wholeheartedly to Lakshmana, indirectly indicating, make friends with him. So, this was the trait of Rama as a ruler, as a Swami, as also the parent. Because when he had come to the forest, he thought, Jeshto Bhrata Pitru Samaha. The parents will always encourage their children to make good friends with other children. So that is the trait of a good parent. So he wanted his child Lakshmana to meet up with the other child Hanuman. So this conversation for us may seem very, very childlike, primitive. One person is praising the other, but it has so much of underlying meaning to it. Well, I'll go to another part of it. Around the 18th, 19th century, lived a great composer come devotee in the south of India. He was adept at composing Telugu compositions mainly on Sri Ramachandra, Bhagwan Sri Ram. So he says in one of the compositions, he laments, see, I have tried my level best to learn the Shastras, and through my little learning I have tried to compose hymns in praise of you, Ram. But I don't see you talking to me. I want you to talk to me. I want to talk to you, Ram. The devotee says, I want to talk to you. Then he convinces himself. He says, even when one of the best speakers in the world called Hanuman, Navavyakarana Pandita Hanuman, he came in front of you and spoke to you, you did not reply to him direct. You spoke to Hanuman through Lakshmana. So even when a Navavyakarana Pandita like Hanuman comes, you don't seem to talk to him directly. You are using Lakshmana as the medium. Who am I? The mere poor Tyagaraja, who's expecting the same from you. He says in the Telugu composition, Adamodi galade Ramaya Matanada Modi galade Ramaya Matanada Modi. Won't you talk to me? Why will you talk? Well, to Hanuman himself you didn't talk. This is how the composers have convinced themselves. Here, Goswami Tulsidas brings a beautiful conversation of Hanuman with Sri Ramachandra and Ram's reply back to Hanuman. Next episode, wait till then. Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a two-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.